The Riviera, or the Ravioli that we called her, was brand new, and we decided to take her for a little trip. And Joe and I went up just south of Monterey, California, Southern California, and we were going along the onion fields, and that area you just went for miles and miles and miles of onions. And a T-bird came by alongside of us and kind of challenged us a little bit. He had a brand new car, and ours was brand new, and the boys were naughty, and boys will be boys, and they just decided that they'd play, and nobody else was around. It was out in the boonies. Didn't really matter. It was a narrow road, and we went over hills and dales and had a good time. And about 15 or 20 minutes later, some black smoke came out of the back of the brand new T-bird, and it was really sad, and that was the end of the game. And really soon after that, that high frontage road had a lot of dust on it, and I do believe it was Mr. John Law that was driving and trying to keep up with us and see what we were up to, and he knew darn good and well what we were up to. And there just happened to be an exit to a jerkwater little town, and we just turned right off and had a nice, very long lunch, and that ended the story just fine.
Uh, Back in the 80s, we would drive from Southern California to Utah or to Colorado, and I was young enough to have an assignment, since radar was against the law in California at the time. The way the Highway Patrol would catch people is by timing them. There would be big white stripes on I-15, and they would time you between those spots. So my job was to lay in the package tray of the Buick and watch for airplanes. And so when they would show up, all I knew is Dad would unroll the window and it would get windy in there. What I didn't realize is his hand was going out on the roof of the car with his middle finger extended. What he didn't know was that the airplane would start to circle us, and so I would have to report that. And not long after that, the police cars would show up to take a look at Dad driving 55 miles an hour just like a good boy.